1 million students across the country are in the middle of NAPLAN testing, and once again there's debate over the value of the tests. Father and parenting expert Dr. Justin Coulson joins me now. Good morning to you, Justin.
Hi, Lisa.
Now, you believe that these tests are a complete waste of time and money. Why is that?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of parents that are saying, what's the big deal? Why all the hoo-ha about NAPLAN? I'll send the kids to school, they can do the test. Yeah, it might be a bit stressful, but hey, you know, school can be stressful at times. And that would be fair enough if NAPLAN was actually doing something worthwhile. But we've got evidence from international studies and an increasing amount of evidence coming through from Australia about these high-stakes tests. And there are three really important points that are worth noting. The first one is that NAPLAN and other high-stakes tests actually reduce students' learning. We're finding it right around the world that nations that are doing this high-stakes testing are seeing learning actually become worse. Students are not learning as well, they're having a worse time at school, and their academic results are actually falling rather than rising.
But can you explain that? Is that because schools are making the kids learn to a specific test rather than rounding out the subjects? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's a large part of it. The jargon is teaching to the test or narrowing the curriculum. And because there's so much pressure on teachers and kids to do well on these tests, the kids are missing out on a lot of other opportunities to do a whole lot of other things. And research is even showing that teachers are showing kids how to get from A to B in the shortest possible way to do well on the test, but they're not actually getting the context, they're not getting the discovery and the curiosity and that wonderful learning process where we get to make mistakes and learn from it and do better. So that's the first reason that the NAPLAN is not all it's cracked up to be. In fact, it's quite bad for children's learning.
There's also evidence that schools are telling the poor-performing kids to maybe stay home on testing day.
There's a lot of anecdotal evidence for that, and so that's obviously concerning because that shows that this system can be quite easily rorted.
Just very, very quickly, I know you've got a daughter in Year 7. You've got other kids who haven't sat the test before. Were there any ramifications from the school when you rejected it?
Most schools respond really well if you send a letter to school and let them know that you don't have a good opinion of NAPLAN and you'd like to keep your kids out. We're seeing kids stressed. I'm getting emails from mums and dads of 8-year-olds saying, my child was awake at 5 o'clock this morning sobbing because they have to go and do this test that means nothing and that doesn't even work. Peter Hill, who's in charge of ACARA, the body that runs NAPLAN, in 2010 at a Senate committee hearing said that as a diagnostic tool, NAPLAN is, and I quote, literally worthless.
OK. Justin, always good to get your perspective. Thanks for that. Over to you, Carl.